What's up, everyone? It's Matt Morozic, aka MVM397. So I had not planned on doing another work in progress video on the Utopia cast Kshatriya, but I'm going to go ahead and do a final little work in progress here. Today I'm going to get it all finalized. The only thing I'm missing is metal thrusters for the binders. The resin ones were not up to snuff, so I contacted my client, and I don't have enough of the size that we need in my stock, so he's gonna have to buy some and get them to me. But today's days. Today all I'm doing is working on touching up, finalizing some little bit of hand painting. A good portion of the parts are going to get another coat of the satin top coat, because just the handling and the assembling of the kit, I've gotten some nicks and scratches. And also, even though I'm wearing gloves, when I assemble, you get shiny spots on the kit as you work with it. So the only way to resolve that is to give it another blast of top coat. So I'm going to do that today. So the other day, I don't know, 2 days ago or so, I was trying to get it all assembled and get the binders on and everything. And I knew it was going to be a problem getting it to stand up, because I had the same issue with my SMS Kshatriya. And the way it's designed, it's relatively easy to epoxy together and get it to stand. This one, not so much. So what I've done, and even though I've already painted everything, I'm gonna pin these legs so they're unable to bend. And as you can see, I've kind of got this is a 1/16 inch brass rod, and I just drilled a hole. Even though I've already painted the kit, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. It'll be a relatively easy thing to paint over. So what I'm doing is I'm gonna pin the legs so that they stand at this angle. Because of the binders and because of the way they are, the Utopia cast Kshatriya, the binders are, I would say, the hinges that attach the binder to the body are casted in the open position, meaning that all the binders are flying up. On the SMS version or the Neo grade version, those hinges are actually movable. So depending on how you paint it and put it together, you can have the binders opened or closed. The way this is molded, they're all open, which is kind of interesting, because if you look at some of the Utopia cast kits that have been painted and built, they show the back ones in the closed position, meaning that the binders are pointing down and the front ones are pointing up. This kit's not like that. They're all pointing up. So basically, when it's standing, all the binders will be kind of flying in the up position, which looks really cool. It just makes it really hard to get it to stand. So I was really fighting it the other day, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and put a rod in these legs, and that way it's one less pivot point I have to worry about. So basically, this kit is a fixed pose kit. It weighs a ton. You're not gonna play with it anyway, but so what I did is, on this one, I've already drilled my hole and I put a rod in. I'll cut this off, and then I'll just stick it. Doesn't even need to be glued. I'm just gonna stick it in there, and right now this will not bend. This will not bend at all. So let me show you how I did that. So here's the other leg, and you can see it bends like that, but I don't want it to bend. I want it to stay in this position. So the first thing I did is I took my pin vise, and I just kind of started a pilot hole with it. And I'm not really picking a particular spot. What I want to do is, hold on, let me get another piece of rod to show you what my goal is. Sorry, I wasn't prepared. Okay. So basically, consider it like a knee surgery. I want this rod to go through the joint and into the frame, kind of like at this angle. There's plenty of resin to go into the front of the frame. As you can see, there's a nice thick portion. I was worried that I wouldn't have enough to go, to drill into, but there's plenty of resin to drill into there. So what I first did is I just kind of, it's not at any particular angle, just to make sure that I'm going through the hinge and into the front of the frame part. So I took my pin vise and I just kind of started a hole. Whoops. And this is hard because I'm doing it on camera. And then I just kind of made sure I brought it up at an angle like this. And I use this to get going. Once I got to I have in the middle, the actual hinge on this is a piece of a plastic rod. I'm not sure the diameter I bought, but it's just a piece of plastic rod you can get at your hobby store. So I started a pilot hole like that. And then you can see right there, it's going in. And then I took my drill with the 1/16 inch drill bit on it, and holding the leg in the position that I want, and at this angle, I just slowly drill through. And I'm not gonna go real fast. I'm gonna go real slow. Let the drill do the work. And I can tell I just went through the center. I'm gonna keep going. I can tell I just went through the front. You probably don't have to go real far. What I don't want to do is go too far and go through the front of the frame. That would suck. So now, I've got a hole, and it should go all the way through into the frame. You can see where I came out right there. And that, I'm not going to see that, so I'm not worried about it. So once I get this rod in, I'll put a little dab of putty in there, and I'll paint it. I'll just mask off that area and paint it. So I'm not going to cut this rod because I'm not sure how long I need it, but I want to make sure that I'm all the way through and into the front of the frame so that it will prevent it from bending. So it's a good fit, and it feels like I'm in there. Doesn't want to go down any further, and now this won't bend. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a little further just to make sure I've got a good anchor in there. And this is tight. This rod does not want to come out. There it goes. Tell you what, I don't know about you guys, but final assembly is one of my least favorite parts of building. You spent all this time painting, masking, and it is so easy to screw everything up. I have a few spots where I got glue on the outside where I've had to sand the glue down and repaint. It's very nerve-wracking, especially on a big resin kit like this, where assembly is not easy to begin with. Alright, so it should be good there. And let's see. We didn't come out the front, so we're good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that rod back in there. I'm going to clean out all this resin dust. And this is how I'm going to find out how long I need it to be. I'm going to stick it in there again until it stops. Right there, and this won't bend anymore. I've now pinned the leg. I'm going to just give this a little squeeze right here. I'm not going to cut it because I want to countersink this pin. I want it to go beneath the surface, so it's easier to fix that hole I just drilled. So here's my mark. I'm going to go right below it. Cut it. So here's my pin right there. We're going to stick that in. And we're going to put that in. And I'll use this other rod to kind of push it in. And we are good to go. I can't get the rod out, so hopefully it's in the right position. But now that leg won't bend. So let's do the other one. I already drilled the hole and everything, so let's go ahead and take this rod out. So sometimes you gotta do this stuff. you're building, like, oh crap, it doesn't work. So you have to kind of go back and fix things, and this is a relatively easy fix. The painting and putting work will be very simple, so that's why I went ahead and did it. And make sure I'm in there nice and deep. And I don't need anything thicker than 1/16 inch brass on this because the kit almost will balance, but when you get all that weight on it, it keeps wanting to do this. It keeps wanting to bend on the knee. So I decided last night that I just need to do this. It would have been easier if I would have figured that out before I painted everything, of course. But sometimes, you know, you have to change your plans. So I marked that again, and I'm going to cut right below it. So there's my mark. I'm going to cut right below it so that pin will be countersunk. And we're going to put it back in. Like that. And I'll get down here. I'll take the camera with the tripod and I'll kind of show you how everything looks. I'm real happy with the way this kit looks. It's okay. Well, it's not down all the way, so I'm going to see if I can. Crap. I need to see if I can pull the pin out because I didn't cut it short enough. See, I screw up sometimes too. Actually, I screw up a lot. Let's see, I need a pair of needle nose because I'm not able to grip that. So, you may be witnessing a nice little mess up on my part. The pin is just barely long enough, it's just sticking out. And it doesn't want to go down any further, so I didn't cut it short enough. So let's see if I can get it out. If not, I'll have to figure out, maybe I'll have to probably grind it down with the Dremel. Oh, there it goes. Yay. See? And I'm going to cut that a little bit shorter. And then this should work. And we'll put it back in. And there we go. We're good now. Again, we'll take this brass rod, see if we can push it down a little bit further. Right there. And now that knee is not going to go anywhere. Okay, so I'm going to take the camera off the tripod, and what I'll do is I'll just go in there with a little, probably Tamiya quick type, not the light curing, because I'm going to try to smooth it out and not have to do any sanding. So I'll putty it, I'll let it dry, I'll mask this off, and I'll paint that part steel. No big deal. So let's take this off and look at what we got. So here are the legs, obviously. I got a little bit of glue on the side of this piece right here. I've sanded it with 2000 grit sandpaper to get the glue off, and luckily I didn't go through the paint, so all I gotta do is I just have to hit that with the top coat and we're good to go. So the legs look really good. I replaced the metal cables, as you can see there inside. I'm real happy with the way these look. I did a ton of painting inside the leg, but you can't see it now that the armors are on, and they're not coming off because these side pieces are glued in and these hold that on. So I did a lot of work. You can't see it, but I know it's done, so it makes me feel warm and fuzzy. Let's see. Finally got the head put together and on the torso, and this is on a little hinge, so it does move a little bit forward and backwards and stuff. Not a whole lot of painting on this guy. I did paint the mono-eye red, not that you can really see it. I added some metal tubings on here, so these were the silver, and I sprayed them clear gold, and in the center you can see a red dot. So painted these things white, and then I painted the inner rings silver with the silver enamel, and on top of that in the center I went with some clear red, and then I glued those little things on top of there and it gives it several layers of detail. You can see the crest here is all done, so that was reverse washed, and then after I reverse washed it, I went back and I hand painted the emblem again with some white acrylic. It was looking a little muddy, a little dirty, and then I just went over with a coat of acrylic and it looks fantastic. So I'm real happy with the way that turned out. Hand painted these cables down there. You really don't see them a whole lot. Let's see. Let's look at a binder, a complete binder. So the binders turned out freaking awesome. I really like them. So the only thing that we're missing, and I'm going to back out here a little bit so we can see because they're relatively large. So the only thing we're missing right now are the three thrusters that go here, 1, 2, and 3, and that's what I'm adding. Going to replace with metal thrusters. These have been glued in place, so now when you assemble, these just go down into the top of the shoulders, and it's tricky. It's not easy to do without trying to screw up the kit. So this looks all really good in there. You know, I hand painted those pipes, and then I masked up that purple and painted that. I just glued these on this morning. These do not open up. I guess you could make them open up, but I didn't get any little fingers or anything with the kit. So, and personally, I don't know why you'd ever open them. I think it looks stupid. But so these are just glued in place, and they're there. This is one area of the kit where I don't like how they did it. The SMS version was much better engineered. I don't know what they did here, but they did something where it doesn't work as well. Here's the outside. I went ahead and added some power cables in there for a little detail. So now I got like 3 layers of detail. You can see I've got a little touch up on the white there just from putting these pieces together. And then of course all that work I did on the inside shows off really nice. You see all that hand painting. I see a little touch up I got to do there on the steel, but so that looks really good. I do have to go back and have to paint those little white hinges I did. You can see them. I'll just go over and touch that up with some steel. So that looks good. So those will be open like that. And then of course these open up to reveal this stuff in here. And that looks pretty good. So that's what the binders look, and they actually look really good when they're closed too. I like the way they look when they're closed because all the different tones of green, they just look really nice. So those look really good. And let's see, I finished painting the hands today. So painted the green and then masked that off and painted steel, and they have magnets on the bottom. I'll go get the arms real quick. They're on a skewer to get painted again, or top coated again I should say. Oops. So here's one of the arms, or the forearms. Here you go. And you can see that the crest again, that was reverse washed. And then again, I just went over it again with some white acrylic to just make it real nice and clean. And I'm happy with the way those turned out. So yeah, so there's a thing, and they just magnetize in. Take that off. They're all polarized exactly the same way, so can't mess it up. So that's nice. So these are gonna get another coat of top coat just because they're got some shiny spots on them from handling. So there's that. And then one of my favorite parts of the kit of this design is the big rear skirt, and this looks really good. This was hand painted with white acrylic, and then I just pin lined the outside, and it looks really sharp. All that hand painting it paid off in the end. Looks really good. Same on the back side. So you don't see this unless you put the kit on a mirror, but I think it looks pretty good. So that's the last work in progress for the Kshatriya. Like I said, the only thing I'm missing is the metal thrusters for the kit, and it's done. So once I get those on, I'll glue them in, and I'll be able to take final photos of the kit. So, oh, and I have to fix my little holes now. I'll do that today. That won't take too long. But as always, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the finished version, hopefully within a week or so. Depends on when I get the thrusters. But after this kit, I'm going on to move on to his next kit, which is the G-System 1/72 GM Sniper, which is actually already has been primed and sanded once since I started it a long time ago. But that's the next kit I'm working on for him. And then after that, he's got a 1/72 Jagdauga, a 1/72 Garadoga, a 1/72 Sazabi. What else does he have? He has a 1/48 Hainu. So he's got me busy. So as always, thanks for watching. It's Matt Morozik, aka MVM397, signing off. Catch you next time.